Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on The Hunt. Now, The Hunt was long delayed in response to violent and devastating crimes that were committed in August 2019 in the US, but it has subsequently been released, but again, unfortunately, due to the current health crisis, like many other films, it has shifted to online home rental services, and that is where I saw the film. So if you want to watch it yourself, you'll be able to find it there. Now, the film begins with a focus upon a group text thread whereby a woman named Athena expresses with great anticipation the upcoming hunt of what she calls the deplorables. The film shifts away via a hyper-violent sequence on a plane, which establishes both the dark humour and the violence, to a forest clearing where 12 strangers awaken, gagged and with a cache of weapons and keys left as their only hint as to what awaits them. From here, chaos absolutely reigns. The film explodes quite literally into darkly humorous and extreme gore with little to no reasoning. Several characters who you would assume may feature as important parts of the film, and indeed a couple of familiar looking actors, are decimated almost immediately in both shocking and hilarious ways, with Betty Gilpin, who plays Crystal, eventually becoming one of a handful of survivors who attempt to figure out exactly what is going on. Now, the film barely takes a breath as it pursues the satire and the violence, with the satire and indeed its voice and message oftentimes being completely overwhelmed by the sheer heaving madness of its own brutality. But it is smart in its exploration of the us versus them mentality, and how messages and indeed thoughts can be taken and exploited to extreme measures. It mirrors current trends and ideas on fake news, and it dials everything up to 11, heightening the absurdity of the fashion and of modern Western social media influences. The political stance of this film, of the elites versus everyone else, is as on the nose as you would expect from a film like this, with its pursuit and comments on the idealised elitist mentality being extravagant and over the top. And Hilary Swank becomes the focal point for all of this. She becomes the spearhead as Athena. She grounds her own fury, and her fury is simply in response to what people have said about her online. And she uses this to create this idea of the hunt. And I won't spoil too much more, but she manages to convey all this whilst maintaining the allure of privilege, which directly comes into conflict with Betty Gilpin's Crystal. And Crystal herself may or may not be as she seems. That is where the interest lies. The Hunt, to be fair, it is really well shot, and it excels in those moments of chaos and humour. The choreography is sharp, and it's hard-hitting when it needs to be, and performances really echo that. Director Craig Zobel manages to blend the humour and the violence seamlessly from the outset, but where the film does stumble is in the finality of its message. At a point where it seems as though the film will relentlessly hound those it seeks to inflame, it holds back. Just a touch. But it is enough to feel loss of urgency and any possible poignancy that you could gain from the idea that in conflicts such as these, there can be no real winners, and society ends up being the loser. Instead, it cruise missiles along the thought line that the bad in people will always come out on top. And while that may well be the case in some instances, it unfortunately labels every elitist character in this film as one and the same. There is no grey area, there's no grey line for any of these characters. They are simply on one side or the other. So unfortunately the film misses an opportunity to explore that line, that gap between the elitists and those that seek to, you know, gain what they have. It's a shame, really, but The Hunt is still a riot of entertainment. It is truly hilarious in places, sprinkled with tremendous amounts of dark humour. If you want it to be, The Hunt can be a great actioner. And to be fair, it is probably best to observe the film in just that way alone. I will give this film an 8 out of 10. It is a really fun film. I really did enjoy it. It is one of my favourite films so far this year. Obviously, we're not really going to get many more films at the moment until later on in the year, once the health crisis has passed. 2020 is proving to be an interesting year. But yes, it is one of my favourite films thus far. I have enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend that you watch it, if not to alleviate some of the tension you might be feeling. It is fun and it is worthwhile. So there you are, 8 out of 10. So what more is to come? Well, this is the interesting thing. Like I said, there are not many more films being released at the moment. I've been scouring the online services like Netflix and Amazon to see if I can come up with something that we can watch. I'll find something, I will do a review for it, don't you worry. So stay posted, boys and girls. If you like this content, please leave a like, leave a comment as well. Have you seen this film? What did you think of it yourself? If you've not seen the film, does this sound interesting to you? Will you watch it? More importantly, will you pay for the rental for it? The price, I'm not entirely sure what the prices are. I just went for it, but I'm sure it's probably worth it. It's probably cheaper than going to the cinema anyway. But let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Keep your eyes peeled for more content. There is a review on the Facebook page, which I'm not doing a video for. It is a not quite one paragraph review of The Lighthouse, starring Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. So check that out. The link will be in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye bye.